Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's me, and today, I have a very special video for you. It's time for our second installment of Affordable Affluence, where we take pieces from high-end designers and recreate them for less. Last time we did a series of Gucci-inspired looks, and they were such a hit that I knew we had to do another round. So let's get into it. Our first look is inspired by a custom charm from Bottega Veneta. This piece originally sold for $460 at an auction in June. To recreate the look, I picked up some supplies from Amazon and got to work. First things first, I bought some faux leather and cut it into the same shape as the original keyring. Then hand-stitched it together using a saddle stitch technique. For the charms, I used a mix of polymer clay and epoxy resin, following a tutorial to create the signature BV. I also made these little guys using silicone molds, which saved me so much time. And then I just kind of freehanded it for the rest of the pieces. Once everything was baked and cured, I added some acrylic sealant to protect the clay from scratches and water damage. Then I sealed all the pieces onto the keyring with E6000. Obviously the detail work here isn't perfect. There's no metal hardware and we don't have a jeweler's saw to make the jump rings, but I think it turned out pretty close. And if I do say so myself, the only thing missing is the actual leather keyring itself. But since those are impossible to find, I think my version turned out really nice. If you're wondering how I was able to get my hands on these charms, it's because the seller actually reached out to me and said she had extras. So she sent them over, and I was able to make a few extra keyrings using different color combinations. These would be great for gifts or stocking stuffers. They're super lightweight, and they come in their own little gift box. Speaking of gifts, last week we did a giveaway for a Gucci-inspired Dionysus bag, and the winner is comment number 257. Please reach out through the provided email so I can get your details. And thank you to everyone who participated. Our next piece is inspired by a bracelet from Cartier. This one is currently listed on eBay for $329. And yes, I know that sounds cheap for Cartier, but it's because it's a pre-owned piece. If you want to buy it brand new, it's going to cost you well over $1,200. The original design features a leather band with a gold-plated love bracelet charm on the front. To recreate this piece, I ordered a plain leather band off Amazon and then went to Michael S. to pick up some gold spray paint. After watching a million tutorials, I learned that the best way to spray paint metal is to sand the surface first with some 220 grit sandpaper. Then tape off any areas you do unpainted and spray on a few thin coats of primer. In between each coat, I let the piece dry for about 30 minutes to prevent smudges and fingerprints. Once the primer was dry, I removed the tape and started spraying on some metallic gold. I followed the exact same technique with the primer and let the whole thing dry overnight. For the love bracelet charm, I found a tutorial that used air dry clay. I mixed up a batch and then rolled it into little snake shapes. After letting them dry for about an hour, I put them in the oven to bake according to the package instructions. And once they were cool, I glued them together to form a circle. Using a Dremel tool, I sanded down the edges and made them smooth and shiny. I added a little dab of hot glue to the center to keep the circle closed, and then I repeated the process twice to make two identical charms. I spray painted those in gold too, and then I sealed the whole thing with some Mod Podge. And now comes the fun part, putting it all together. I attached the charms to the leather band using E6000, and then added some rhinestones for extra sparkle. It doesn't look exactly like the original, but I love how mine turned out. And the best part is I had so much fun making it. Now, full disclosure, I had never spray painted metal or worked with air dry clay before, so there was definitely a learning curve. But luckily, both of these techniques are fairly easy to master. And honestly, working with the clay was so relaxing. I actually want to try making some jewelry out of it. So maybe I'll do a tutorial on that in the future. Let me know what you think about today's video. Is it something you'd be interested in? And what other designer brands should I tackle next? I'm thinking about doing some Chanel, but let me know what you think. Our next look is inspired by a pair of earrings from Alexander McQueen. The original was spotted on the runway back in 2014, and it's currently being sold on First Dibs for $280. These are marked as vintage though, so that could affect the price. The original design features a gold-plated skull charm hanging from a hook earring. To recreate these, I bought some gold-plated chain and some jump rings, then used a pair of pliers to open and close them. I strung together a few different lengths of chain to create a simple lariat-style earring, and I picked up an inexpensive pair of skull earrings from Amazon. To make sure they matched the gold tone of the chains, I took some gold Sharpie and colored inside the eyes and the mouth. I know it's not perfect, but it's a good dupe if you ask me. I also made these earrings in silver, and they turned out great. The original Alexander McQueen earrings look so elegant and they're definitely a statement piece. But I love how mine turned out just as elegant with a little bit more edge. If you're interested in these, I'll list them in the shop along with the other two pieces we made today. And just a reminder, I ship worldwide. Thank you so much for all of your support. It truly means the world to me. And now it's time for the final look of the day. This one is inspired by a dress from Billionaire. The original is being sold on the Real for $475. It's a size 2, but to be honest, this dress probably looks amazing on literally everyone. The original features a black, white, and gold color scheme with tons of embellishments and a sexy thigh-high slit. To recreate this, I picked up some gold fabric from Spotlight and traced the pattern onto it using carbon paper. I cut it out, leaving extra room to sew the sides together. Then I pinned the seams and sewed them together using a straight stitch. I finished the edges with a serger, pressed the seams open, and tucked in the zipper. I know this might seem like a daunting project, but seriously, it's so simple. The only detail work we had to do was adding some rhinestones to the shoulders. And if you've watched my sewing videos before, you know that I'm not the greatest at that. But hey, we got it done. For the skirt, I bought a large piece of white felt and cut out triangles to mimic the original. I arranged them on the skirt and pinned them in place. Then I started gluing them down using E6000. Once the felt was in place, I drew lines throughout using a silver Sharpie. Then I put a few drops of hot glue on the inside of the waistband and pressed the skirt to it. I know this wasn't the most precise method, but again, I wanted to keep this video simple. For the straps, I bought some gold elastic and attached them using more hot glue. I even managed to recreate the square neckline, which I was really worried about. All in all, I think this turned out really well. The original is made out of silk and has tons of intricate beading. But honestly, the fabric and embellishments I used are a lot more comfortable and they definitely pack a punch. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like $1 million in this dress. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you soon.